Hey everybody. So today was Cherokee Day, right? And I've been doing this the last 2 years now. I watch YouTube's stuff they upload about Cherokee and on Cherokee Day, and I'm just looking for any Cherokees, that represent in any of these, displays that look like us. And I can never, I won't say never. I haven't seen any lately that do any of these festivals and take place in any of this stuff that look like our people. Um, I watch this channel, often just to try to learn, if there was anything left, basically to gather. You know what I mean? Anything that represents us, as a people, and just know what they expect. But I really couldn't watch too much of this. As you can see, it's a 27-minute video. I only got 4 minutes of it, and I finally just had to stop. It's embarrassing, in my opinion, because this is the stuff that they tried to emulate is stuff that I see our people do naturally, and our people don't even know it. When they do it, it looks out of place, and to be honest, it looks awkward. Here, I'll just go back to when it starts.
Day, Cherokee Days Festival, one of the largest annual events here at the National Museum of the American Indian. It gives me great honor to introduce to you the Anigadu warriors who perform traditional dances of the Cherokee, Eastern Band of the Cherokee. How about a warm National Museum of the American Indian welcome to these folks?
Did you see the audience? There's go back, look at the audience. I see a whole bunch of people of so-called European descent. And maybe they're just there to celebrate it. Maybe they're not a part of the Cherokee, but it's just, I don't know, it's just so weird. It's the same thing with my adopted dad. My adopted dad, he's Italian, part Cherokee on his dad's side, and his mother was British, right? But yet they were fascinated with seeing this and watching this stuff up in North Carolina. They were fascinated with the same way they were fascinated with playing Negro slave songs throughout the house. It was awkward to us, the 6 of us that they adopted, because to us it's a weird, it's weird. It's like someone's taking enjoyment in the fact that our ancestors or our grandparents and grandfathers could sing and sing so beautifully through so much pain and so much suffering. But to them, they sit back and listen to it and they're like, oh man, those people could really sing. I don't know, it's just weird. How do you explain it? And look, this I've seen videos on tribes in Africa that do this kind of thing. I think I was watching stuff on the Ghana people, and I've seen them doing this. I'm trying to remember what it was in. It was actually in Marvin Coleman's video where they break away and they show people down in South America, and they say these are the Indians, and it's only right that they lead the festival, and they're, doing that. Look at that guy. And that's what I'm talking about. Our people could do this with style. what they're about to do and make it look so awkward and look so terrible. But what's weird is when our people do it, right? Our people are shunned and nobody really cares for it. But somehow they do it and it's all, ooh, man, mystical. Can they make up their mind? Are they looking at the ground or are they looking around? Because look at this guy. He's looking at the ground. He's looking at the ground. This guy's just looking around, right? And like, doesn't your mind go back to like the movie Stomp the Yard? This is just, oh man, this is terrible. Where's the flavor? All right, that's enough of that. But you see the title, you could watch it if you want to watch the rest and see what they go into. But what I did find, one of the videos they've uploaded, I thought was, it was somewhat interesting just to listen to. Once again, this is what I look for.
We tend to rely on stereotypes.
Here we go.
A thematic focus of our evening today. And we'll begin with a few comments and introduce each speaker. Jezebel, Mammy, the Indian princess.
Do you hear that? Jezebel, Mammy? Isn't that biblical, right? If they were always on this part of the world and all the other stuff in the Bible happens on the other part of the world, what does the name Jezebel have to do with a princess over here? Just curious.
Adraj, Sambo.
Sambo, once again, they try to say, oh, Sambo just means, and they try to confuse you. They'll go, Sambo just means an African that's mixed with a Native American. But then at the same time, while you're reading the definition of Sambo, they try to say, oh no, this is someone from India that's mixed with a Native American. But we've put it together, right? We are the Afro-Asians that are here in the Americas.
The black male rapist, the savage warrior.
Isn't that what what's her name called us? Hillary Clinton, right? She said in her last year that black men are super predators, right?
The dancing mascot. This evening we have the opportunity to delve into the subject.
And isn't that how they always draw us in when we look at the old pictures of us back in the 1800s? And people go, oh, that's a coon, that's a coon. Yeah, well, according to the, what's their names, the Wichita Indians, coon was the name of one of the tribes, Wichita tribes, right? That was in Missouri. And when the European settler got there, they couldn't pronounce the name of their tribe. They found out that their clan animal was the raccoon, so they called them coons for short. The fact that you could only see the whites of their eyes in the middle of the dark.
Of stereotypes of native.
And just like a coon, they hunted people in Missouri, and they were the last state to give up the license to hunt the Negro, right?
Native people, Africans, and African Americans, with foremost thinkers in this field. The term stereotype derives from a technical meaning in the printing industry of the 1700s. It refers to a plate fixed with an image that could be readily and widely reproduced. The word has come to mean, in our contemporary context, a simplistic, narrow, and broadly shared image of a person, group, or thing. Because stereotypes are omnipresent, and we are overloaded with information and mental tasks, we tend to rely on stereotypes as, quote, cognitive tools to form impressions of others, end quote. At best, stereotypes are unintentional shortcuts. At worst, they are weapons used to demean and to degrade.
That is so powerful. It's so
Our
true.
reliance on stereotypes as individuals and as a nation has costs for sense of self, for interpersonal relationships.
Think about that, right? Instead of telling you what tribe you're from, they call you nigger. And then look what all that spawns. Oh, you can say the word nigger, but you can't. I can call you my nigger, but you can't call me my nigger. Think about it, right?
And for social integrity, justice, and progress. Social scientists tell us that the reduction of populations to inaccurate images and sound bites leads to negative outcomes. African American psychologist Claude Steele has founded and inspired a body of research which finds that people across a range of racial and gender groups are affected by what he has termed stereotype threat, the anxiety and fear linked to an individual's awareness of common notions of her, his, or their group. Individuals attempt to combat those stereotypes by using creative coping mechanisms, but nevertheless suffer from diminished performance when stereotypes that implicate them are triggered. The classic example of stereotype threat is the Black student who achieves a lower score on standardized tests, once primed with the idea of Black intellectual inferiority. This reduction of achievement has been duplicated in studies that look at women taking math tests, white male athletes facing academic tasks, and so on. Native American psychologist Stephanie Freiberg and her co-authors have found that even stereotypes claimed to be positive by some, such as Indian mascots of popular sports teams, can have negative effects, as in the lowering of self-esteem of American Indian high school students.
Hey, I know what you're talking about, the whole Redskin thing for the Washington Redskin football team. Look, I don't know about you, but when I found out that there, another term for us was the red man, speaking of our brown skin being interchangeable with the color of red. What was it? I won't give you 1 red cent, and then you hold up a penny and it's the same color as your skin. I was like, man, it gave me a different thought. I was like, y'all want to ditch that name? We'll take it.
Oversimplified images can diminish individual capacity and damage self-worth.
And that's where that whole drawing us back in the old days with the massively large lips and the jet black, skin with the big round booties that stick way out, over dramatic, our pictures of us. I believe that when she said it the first time, I thought about that. Like, when you see that, it's just like, that's not how we look, and you're like, what's, going through their mind?
But stereotypes are so powerful and resilient that they operate beyond the individual's psyche to shape cultural current.
Just another thing, how many times I notice within our own people, they call each other coon to be a slur, when really they're trying to say you're a sellout. Because we know coon was another term used for a tribe. That's insulting, just calling someone a coon. It's like, nah, chances are you weren't a part of the Wichita. What if you weren't a part of that Wichita tribe? What if you were part of the Yamasee or the Muskogee? That's more offensive once to me, once you know that stuff.
And societal structures. Certain images have long operated in American culture as containers for a host of ideas that distort and belittle groups of people in ways that have material consequences. In African American history, stereotypes of Black women and men as animalistic, immoral, lazy, and childlike were used to justify their economic and sexual exploitation during slavery and their segregation and marginalization thereafter. In Native American history, stereotypes of indigenous men and women as savage, wasteful, warlike, and romantic have been used to rationalize the taking of indigenous lands and the undermining of Native political authority.
Now, when she said all that stuff, though, doesn't it sound like us instead? Like, I don't know. Like, to me, it sounds like, that's everything they use to describe how we are, right?
American history, stereotypes of indigenous men and women as savage.
Don't they call us savages? Don't they tell us we deserve what we get when we see our people getting shot, right? And they don't care. They don't even bat an eye, but the moment, one of theirs goes down, it's like, the whole world comes to an end. But then they blame us for the fact that they don't get the coverage in the media. Like I've literally heard white folks, go like, oh well, it's because nobody wants to hear when about a white person died, but everybody wants to hear when black people die. Like it's our fault. Quit killing us, and you'll get all that media time, right? That you want.
Wasteful, warlike, and romantic.
Warlike, right? We talk about our gangs and the streets, but yet they're the reason that we're in that condition. And romantic. Boy, do they love our R&B, right? They love everything about, the aphrodisiac that is us.
Have been used to rationalize the taking of indigenous lands and the undermining of native.
And it still goes on today. They clear you out of your own neighborhoods that you've always lived in to build up their own resorts and golf courses and stuff like that. And it's okay because all you guys were doing was bringing down the value along, you know what I'm saying? Like you see it all over the Florida, you see it all over Philadelphia, Those are the places I'm more used to seeing that stuff going on. You probably know what I'm talking about. Look at Detroit. Best example, right? Detroit can't grow. They always paint the image that it's negative, that, nothing good happens there, violent, blah, 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 blah. And you think about it, right? They get it to where Detroit was so bad off in parts that I remember reading you could buy a house for $100. Some were advertising you could buy a house for $12. All you gotta do is pay the taxes on it. And then all of a sudden, all these TV shows show these people going to Detroit and they flipping homes, and then there's people of other ethnic races that aren't ours bottom up. And then it's like, where did all our people go then? They used to live in those areas. And somebody making a profit off it. Why couldn't our people flip them and turn them into something valuable? And it's all right, because it's Detroit.
Political authority. The abiding strength of stereotypes has therefore been a major focus of scholarship in African studies, African American studies, and Native American studies. Philip Deloria, a historian of Native America, has described stereotypes as, quote, both the products and tools of domination, an inheritance that haunts every one of us, end quote. Stereotypes have been flexible and ferocious, intractable and infectious in American culture. Our four panelists, accomplished scholars and careful thinkers about the manifestations and implications of stereotypes in history, culture, and literature, will engage us on these issues by sharing their current research for 15 minutes each. I invite you to read their biographies, which are in the program, as their impressive publications and activities are too plentiful for me to speak about right now aloud. I'd like to remind you to please hold your questions for after the program. For those watching our live webcast, join the conversation on Twitter by using the hashtag stereotypes.